Last week's tragic domestic terrorist attack by a white supremacist shooter that killed 9 churchgoers inside Charleston's Emanuel AME church was absolutely heartbreaking. But perhaps even more shocking were the responses that came from family members of the slain victims at the shooter's pre-trial hearing, where they did something absolutely amazing and offered forgiveness at a time of unimaginable grief and suffering. Here are a few of the voices of the victims' families offering forgiveness to the man who, with one deliberate act of racial hatred, sought to ignite a new race war in America.
You are representing the family of Ethel Lance, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And you are whom, ma'am?
The daughter.
Her daughter. I'm listening, and you can talk to me.
I just want everybody to know, to you, I forgive you. You took something very precious away from me. I will never talk to her ever again. I will never be able to hold her again. But I forgive you. And have mercy on your soul. You hurt me. You hurt a lot of people. But God forgive you. And I forgive you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your name, sir?
Anthony Thompson.
Mr. Thompson.
I would just like him to know that,
Speak up for me. I can barely hear you.
saying the same thing that was just said. You know, I forgive you, my family forgive you. But we would like you to take this opportunity to repent. Repent. Confess. Give your life to the one who matters the most, Christ, so that he can change it, can change your ways no matter what happened to you, and you'll be okay. Do that, and you'll be better off than what you are right now.
Thank you, sir. Your name, ma'am?
Felicia Sanders.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders, for being here.
We welcome you Wednesday night in our Bible study with open arms. You have killed some of the most beautifulest people that I know. Every fiber in my body hurts. And I'll never be the same. Tawanza Sanders is my son, but Tawanza was my hero. Tawanza was my hero. But as we said in Bible study, we enjoyed you, but may God have mercy on you.
In a world filled with anger, violence, and vengefulness, hatred just couldn't win. As I watched media coverage of the outpouring of love and compassion for the victims and their families, I watched national news anchors literally stunned by the forgiveness shown by the families. Some were visibly shaken to the point of tears on air by the events, which were so moving. You see, the world understands revenge. It comprehends violence. It perceives an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But what perplexes the world is the ability to be so violently wronged and yet to offer forgiveness for that wrongdoing. This was the core message of Jesus, who, as he was nailed to the cross and left to die for no wrongdoing on his part, he prayed a prayer saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." During the media coverage, one news anchor summed it up very well when he said that it looked like he was watching something from first century Christianity. Sadly, American Christians living in the 21st century are not often accused of resembling first century Christians. Today, a growing number of Americans view Christianity not as the vibrant, faith-driven community of the first century, known for its love, goodwill, and charity, but instead more as a political faction with a holy book that it twists and turns to fit its politics. Indeed, according to a recent poll, many Americans admitted that they had lost their faith in organized religion and blamed politics and the pulpit for a large part of their frustration. The good and precious people of Charleston who were victimized by this heinous domestic terrorist attack deserve our love, compassion, and respect. And their example of forgiveness of something so entirely unforgivable stands as a glorious testimony to the entire world that while some things are impossible with men, all things are possible with God. What a wonderful example that they set, taking something that was so designed for their harm and allowing it to be used for something so good. And that's just something to think about.
One day When the glory comes, it will be ours.